you know that it was actually a woman who laid the groundwork for the unification of England? March is Women's History Month, so to celebrate that, I thought we would start a new series where we look at the lives of forgotten women from the medieval period. Today we are taking a look at the life of Ethelfleda, Lady of the Mercians. Ethelfleda was born in around 870 AD. She was the oldest daughter of King Alfred the Great and his Mercian wife Ealhswith. Ethelfleda was born at a time when England was constantly being invaded by the Vikings. In fact, much of England was actually under Danish control, and so this part of the country was known as the Danelaw. We don't know exactly when, but at some point Ethelfleda married Ethelred, Lord of Mercia. This alliance was vital for Wessex, because unlike the rest of Anglo-Saxon England, Mercia was relatively stable and untouched by the Vikings. Ethelred and Ethelfleda would have one child, a daughter called Alfwin, who would briefly go on to succeed her mother as the Lady of the Mercians. Ethelred dies in 911 AD. Though his health had been declining well before that, it is believed that Ethelfleda may have been the de facto ruler of Mercia from as early as 902 AD. Her husband died in 911 AD. Ethelfleda was recognised as the de facto Lady of the Mercians. Succession is the only example of female inheritance and long-term rule in the Anglo-Saxon period. And as Lady of the Mercians, Ethelfleda had every intention of ruling. Rather than adopting a defensive strategy like her predecessors, Ethelfleda adopted an offensive policy and took the fight to the Vikings. She started by building a network of fortified towns across the Midlands, laying the foundations of what would go on to become Stafford, Warwick, and Runcorn. Today, Warwick Castle is still exactly where Ethelfleda laid the foundations. Like I said, she also took the fights to the Vikings, working in alliance with her brother, Edward of Wessex, to create a pincer movement and push the Vikings back. In 917 AD, Ethelfleda captured Derby, then she went on to capture Leicester in 918. Ethelfleda was on the verge of capturing Northumbria, and suddenly on the 12th of June 918, she died in Tamworth of all places. Little did she know that before her death, Vikings in York had agreed to submit to her authority, which would have brought Northumbria under Anglo-Saxon control and united England. We don't know how Ethelfleda died, but we do know that she was buried in Gloucester, and had she lived, she would have been responsible for unifying England. Instead, that honour went to her nephew Athelstan. At her death, she was briefly succeeded by her daughter, later deposed by her uncle Edward, making Mercia a part of Wessex. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.